Hello. So second video tonight. Um, Second video with two other decks. I'm thinking about guidance or doubt, or finding themselves, finding the right path, finding something you need for this one. You know, my mother used to say a lot of weird things about some of this or that. So if someone needs to find connection, incorporate wisdom and meaningful work into what they're doing in life, I've been thinking about this right here, this symbol, and I could be very much quite wrong, because I've heard stories that wise men apparently didn't arrive until after, Jesus, I thought I said Jesus died, but, until after Jesus was born. But I've been thinking about this symbol right here. Some TV shows use it to hold demons down or keep this or that. Some say it's a summoning circle, this or that. But I don't know, because I was thinking about it, right? And if like Jesus was born in the manger, right, and they followed the star to get there, wouldn't the symbolic interpretation of the star? Because I can't remember how many wise men there were, but I think there was the three wise men that made it to see Jesus. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you had the mother and the father standing there, and the three wise men all standing around Jesus' birth thing. So I don't know if that's accurate. It could be wrong, but I was very much thinking into that. If that there represents the three wise men and the mother and father of Jesus standing around the manger he was born in. Okay, so in reverse we have productive, fertile ground, and shifting energy. So we have a very unproductive, infertile ground, and a stale energy, or an energy at a standstill. Okay, so someone is very, what's the opposite of bored? Not bored, like very keen or interested. Someone has a lot of inspiration towards a true or a good direction or a good path in life. Whoa, I draw way more than I thought. A change is coming to someone's life, expanding creation or their knowledge of creation. Someone's just going to be very flexible, someone should be very flexible about or in or with something. There was a conflict that led to like a lack of self-trust and tension between people. This was about an achievement someone did or something someone did. So someone might have made a big achievement. Someone was like, I deserve to be that. Why'd you get this and I didn't? Why'd you get that and I didn't? They're very angry at the achievement. It's a possible continuation of this. And it's to do with the harmony around the situation or something, the harmony. There is a creative power, and there's going to be a calm satisfaction after triumph, and a sense of self-satisfaction. Now this confidence comes from strength and oil and oneself. It's a very lively thing. It's to do with the control of a conviction of someone who is aware of themselves. Someone in this situation is innocent and is very fearless and ventures forth. They're very passionate about themselves and what they do. They love to express themselves, and they might be a very charismatic person. I don't know what that word means now. Someone is actually very faithful and are a spiritual teacher, and they very much believe in things. To do with an ace, a new energy, a stimulating impulse to do things. So someone could be giving new energy and stimulating the impulse to do something. Whether or not that's good, it's up to you to trust in, the divine or God or the right thing or whatever. You've got to listen to God, not what people tell you to listen to. You've got to listen to actually God, because why would you not listen to the truth of your creation? There's a very youthful male who is intense in thought and is very perceptive. This is about the sword. A king, a mature male, a dedicated achiever, and someone who's actually quite responsible. Someone sees or knows a clear direction in life, and someone's going to be balancing their life, and I always said someone's going to be rooted, someone about getting rooted, because When I say it that way, it sounds a little bit naughty. But, you know, back in the days of the Bible, there was a lot of shaboink-a-boink. Yeah. Some of these people had like hundreds of children each. A, a youthful female, spontaneous, exposition, and dramatic. I just think that because a mature man and a youthful woman is kind of ugh. But I guess if they're of age and stable minded, and like over 18 or 21 or something, and still youthful as an older man, and they connect, why not? But I'm kind of like, yeah. I mean, my personal lifestyle is men and women separate rooms. You could share a room with a woman, but like back in the day when men and women all lived in separate dorms and they just worked and played with each other, and then they like interacted in the day, and then every once in a while, every year or half a year or something, they would just choose someone and be like, "Yep, I like you. Let's make a baby." Someone is being very dramatic. A mature female who is well grounded and is going to give some practical advice on the situation. A mature female, and something about a calm interior, and someone is going to try to command someone. There's going to be new divination or a new vision. I thought it said new divination, but new vision, a truth and clarity is going to be given to the situation. A youthful male has taken a courageous action and is quite adventurous. And another youthful male who is protecting their personal emotions and artistic. A king being a mature male who acts with impact and is quite inspired, so someone is inspired or inspiring. This is based around a king. Okay, so death, transformative, ultimate change, and rising above a situation. So the end of a situation, the start of a new one. Someone could be death. I'm thinking someone could be put to death, but hopefully no one's put to death, because no one should die before they have to, you know what I mean? It's quite not fair. It's one of the ultimate perversions in life. Someone meeting an end before they should, or trying to make someone meet an end before they should. Try to make them not do what they're supposed to, you know, perversions such as saying that person's a slut, or that person does this or that when that person was not, and it gets them raped. They lie and they pervert the truth, and they make them think things about this person. They even try to spread all these rumors to keep people who should have and would have been friends with them from meeting them. Those are perversions. Someone could be sexually perverted in the way that someone is just doing something innocently. Like, you know, someone could just be innocently of innocent mind, and they look at them and they're like, "Oh my god, bitch wants it." That's a perversion, that's a pervert. It's not the actual sexual act itself, but there is a such thing as sexual perversion. People in the modern day and age have kind of got it quite wrong, but there is sexual perversions, yes. But a perversion could also be, she lied about it, she lies, she's always lying and making people think someone's a liar and not to trust their word, when they were actually quite trustworthy because the person that's saying it did something wrong. That's a perversion. Someone is going to act with integrity, strength of thought, and innovative, like 6 swords held high. This is to do with a queen or a mature female, offering unconditional love and receptive, receptive love, reciprocating. I know that word. Completion, innovative community, and strength. Misfortune and a lack of purpose, and quite problematic situation. Okay, so dragon lesson. There are times when lessons have to be fierce, that know to become careful. When you carry too far, know the past. If you ever become an elder, know and remember where you came from. You didn't start out as an elder, you were once young, And how would you feel if that elder was doing that to you and they didn't give you the chance to grow and become the elder you are today, and they tried to take that chance from you? And that elder was like, I'm older, listen to me, respect me over all else, don't be yourself, do this or that, blah blah blah, I have more right to this or that because I have been here longer. Well, I mean, I'm sorry. That doesn't mean you get instinctive authority over this or that. It just means you made it there and someone helped you make it there once, so you're supposed to help people make it there. You're not supposed to stop people from enjoying the journey. Dragon claws. A resistance. There's going to be a resistance, but someone might not give up. Someone should hold on until Friday. Break through the barriers. It's either eat or take the berries. I don't know, one might be a bad choice, but something about berries. Hold fast, human child. Take from us the strength you need and search for. That's quite cool. Human. You seen those Pokemon? It's human. Yes, it's quite human. Sovereign dragons. You are the sovereignty of your life, the ruler of your realm. Reconnect with your power and use its sacred golden energy with confidence, care, and great respect. I've heard rumors about this about some people saying that allegedly golden associated with dragon, golden eyes is also that, but could be associated with another being, because it might be like someone's pink with that or blue or something, but I've heard golden might be rare for those eyes, and green might be rare for the foxes and this or that on different fairy tale being family sides, this or that. Not that I have any of those family sides, obviously, but yeah. We know loyalty. When we connect, it is deep and ensuring. Whether you desire a friend, lover, or partner for life, use this energy creatively to truly passionate with your ferocious life. But yeah, I would just personally focus on finding what I'm meant to find. If you're trying to find something too much, you might not find what you're looking for. I say this all the time, but if you go out there looking for the most perfect, amazing thing, you might not find it because you might have too high of expectations. You might miss something that could become your perfect thing. You might miss something that could become your perfect thing, you might miss it along the way. You might be looking for something else and you miss something else that would have ended up being your perfect. Don't try to make things fit where it doesn't. Humans often step back, believing their dream to be impossible. But is it really impossible if you put enough time and energy and care into it? You gotta invest in something. You gotta be there, you gotta do it. And if you really care about it, practice radical aliveness, the state of living from the heart. So yeah, try to connect with God or the divine or whatever you do. Connect with the good in life, don't focus on the bad. Stop focusing on the bad and stop looking for something that's too perfect or too good to be true. Take it as it is. Stop trying to make it look for what you expect it to be. You might be shown what to find and what to see, but something might not be exactly what you expect it to be, but is it what you need it to be? Aqualuna, flying brooms, and being an animal. That's kind of interesting. Be grateful for your blessings in life and the good over the bad. Some people find that a lot fucking harder though, because some people haven't experienced as many good situations, but they try to stay true to themselves still. Someone says they can let go of their mistakes. I don't know about that situation if I completely agree with that. If one should just let go of their mistakes, or if they should atone for them and not do it again. Instead of letting go of mistakes, try not doing it again and taking a better path and doing a better thing, being a better person. Sharing your world with animals. Yeah, be an animal. We are also animals on this earth, essentially. We humans are also animals. Make a wish in life. Pray for what you want in the good times and the good things to come. Pray to the right one. Yeah, we're all animals on this earth, God gave us nails and he gave us teeth. And if you, personally, if you were in fight for your life and you had nothing else and you were fighting for your life and they're like, someone was there holding you down and you were fighting for your life, would you say, oh my god, it's so socially unacceptable to bite someone and it's considered feral or gross? Or would you like fight tooth and nail, the saying is literally fight tooth and nail, and would you bite their face? Which, honestly, you might still get, but you could do a lot better. You could weaken them, which means someone else survives, or you could have a little bit of their skin in your teeth when you die because you bit them. They have blood around the mouth, so you had a little bit of their skin in your tooth nail, whatever you call it, the tooth biz. There, I think you got a little bit in a tooth. Got a gross tooth. I have like a gross sickness coming back. I think it's based around people who are jealous because I kind of like had some healing gifts in life, this or that. Not magic, because I said this before, but I mean, not spells. I keep saying the wrong fucking thing. But you know, spells work differently to blessings, gifts, and magic. Because if you do like a magical spell and you're like, I want to be the most beautiful, then it's going to take the beauty from the most beautiful person in a 3-mile radius, or I want to look like this person, then you're going to take that from them, and all of a sudden you'll be the new thing, and they'll be like, oh, you're like the hot new thing, and then they don't look like that anymore, and they're like, oh, you look ugly now by comparison. Sometimes that's because someone had a growth spurt, or trained to believe in themselves, but sometimes that actually means that they stole that from someone else, and that person should be looked at. You know, some people might be so successful and it seems unfair because they're not nice people, horrible people. They could have backstories you don't know about, or that one person having a business and being so selfish could lead to 20 people getting together to start a charity that saves 1,000 lives. And you, by stealing that success from that one person, have just killed 10,000 people in a 20 to 100 year span. And then another 10 to 20,000 in the next 10 to 20 in the next 50 years. And if someone possesses beauty they're not supposed to, someone might learn a lesson or might not learn a lesson they're supposed to naturally learn, which swings off the swing of the balance, which is like, you know, success magic, beauty magic, healing magic, and I can't remember the other one, but there was 4 of the most forbidden magics. Like, you know, because like if you got the natural gifts and you do like even priests do magic, that's prayers and blessings, it's magic. Like the angels do the abilities when they send them down. You know, that all comes under the classification of magic. And someone being anointed or blessed or gifted in life means they might start with an innate kind of magic which is assigned to go towards this or that. It can be confused with witchcraft, but if you did witchcraft, you probably know about it. And that takes something from somewhere that it should be or shouldn't be. Yeah, like if you do a healing spell instead of doing healing magic, like I want to be a healer, so I'm going to do this invocation that I was never supposed to do. You're stealing something they've stolen from the people who rightfully have it. Or I'm doing a healing spell and saying, I want this person to be over cancer, so I'm going to use this non of like the creation amulet, like this satanic or unholy amulet, or I'm going to try to use a spell to get rid of this illness that actually puts the illness into someone else. You could be like, oh, my grandma has cancer, so I'm going to cast a spell and be like, so she doesn't have cancer and she's not dying anymore. But then like a 5-year-old or a 12-year-old girl 3 houses down or 4 blocks away suddenly falls ill and falls down. That's because by doing a spell of witchcraft to get rid of that sickness, you've put the sickness in someone else's body, just like a spell to be stronger or be strong like someone that steals their strength. So those, you know, beauty, success, and healing spells, not magic. I keep saying the wrong things. Like witchcraft, basically, is some of the most forbidden ones. But if you naturally possess beauty, or you're naturally successful, or you have natural healing gifts, then that's kind of more okay, you know. Some people mistake healing and regeneration because, you know, if you've seen like the werewolf movies or this or that, that is it. They say they healed, they did heal essentially, but that's known as regeneration. So it's regenerative healing is what it's supposed to be called or classified as, which means that these people regenerated their cells, they regenerated their skin, not heal, because healing is the art of healing or curing a disease. Yeah, I've heard some wickedly evil satanic things about people stealing Keela's ability, and this or that, and using it for corrupt and perverted purposes and horrible purposes. Like some of these beings will cut someone's back, like here and here, and do this or that, and then stay nearby chanting and say this person's an asshole, so I'm following them to prove it, or so that they don't steal from anyone, but they're constantly stealing from them. And they steal this being's healing gift or healing ability that they're born with naturally to heal the sick. And this person has healed wounds before when they're younger, but they steal this from them in a very, very wicked, evil, dark place. It kind of looks like the one on Naruto in this story or theory. And they use this to steal someone's face, because they say to this like child or teenager, I want you to do naughty things. I want you to do this sex work. I want you to have sex with this person. I want you to sin. And they don't. So then they claim, because they know them or because they're standing there, they claim right to their body or to their soul or their mind and this or that, and then they cut it off and they use the stolen healing to heal it, and then they hide the scars with chance, because this specific healing is supposed to leave scars unless there's not supposed to be a scar. And I personally like scars. They tell a story, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, these people could be like, I want my friend to have the ability to heal or the gift to heal. It's like, well, they don't. They could have gone down a different path, which reminds me of another story. I think the man in this story's name, it was a younger boy, a light-skinned white boy called Jordan, and he was like, oh, we possess this innate magic in our family or life or this or that. And he was like, I want to be this big bad thing that everyone respects and wants to know. So I'm going to go down the destructive path, and I'm going to be a very destructive person. And he tried to learn to destroy things with his mind, which he kind of did. But he wasn't actually part of that family. He was adopted. He was a white boy, and he essentially was like, he got everything in life. He had a very easy life. He was like, I want to be able to destroy, so he learned destructive magic. And then pretty much his adopted cousin had healing gifts, so they learned to heal. And then he was pretty much like, yeah, why is no one going for me? I'm so scary. I should be this big thing that everyone wants to go to me and everyone wants to do this or that. And then they were all going to the healer, because the healer could heal the ailments or do this or that. So he was like, I want healing, switch healing, give me healing. And like, well, you've already gone down your path, you can't change it now, it's your fault, that's what you've chosen in life, you gotta live with what you've got. So he set a plan to do this and steal this or that, and he even said, I'm part fairy and I know a tomb of ancient evil beings that I'm gonna unleash unless you give me healing, give you what I want. And he had all these plans to like maybe get a sex change or get like this or that, or say a false backstory. And it's like, if I go Michael Jackson, everyone's gonna trust me because I'm black, and I'll just say these people are racist. And I'm like, well, fuck. And that man, like, he would also plan to say that he was older than certain people when he was not, and steal stories, which was kind of interesting. This was like a younger blonde man in this story. I don't think it's like anyone on any TV shows or anything, but yeah. Which was kind of interesting. And yeah, I forgot the next part of the story. It was kind of interesting. Let me try to think about it. Oh yeah, so later in this one, this cousin, this boy, he has the gift of healing, and he's approached by a cloaked figure. And when the cloaked figure approaches him, he's like, would you like to be a healer? And this guy's like, I already can do that. And they actually thought there was someone else. Like, a lot of people mistook this person for someone else that was older in the line. Not sure if it's the one that made the deal or summoned it to do with it or not, but a lot of people thought this was someone else. And they're like, oh, I will give you the ability to heal if you make a deal with me, but all you need to do is give me the strength of the lion, and I can take it from your lion, and I will give you healing. And this guy was like, no, that doesn't sound worth it, this or that, and stuff, which is kind of interesting. And then it goes around, and other family members said, I thought I saw this, I thought I saw that, so they check in. Some family members were spreading the rumors that this guy was like a drug addict or a junkie and a horrible person or psychotic and this or that, because they wanted to steal this person's blessings and gifts because they didn't have or possess these naturally themselves, like this kind of energy too. And this person had also done some like weird telekinetic things and done this or that before too, funny enough. Yeah. And then, They heard it approaching this person, that person. They tried to stop it, but then one day, they started to get weak. They tried to pick up a like this or that, and eventually they could barely pick up a cardboard box. And they're like, oh my god! So they tried to use the healing gift because they were told to use it, not use it into these certain situations by like some kind of divine being or something, possibly, whether or not that person was tricked. But yeah, they were told to do this or that. And then yeah, the healing started disappearing and draining, and their line started getting very sickly and ill, and they all started getting weak, and they were looking for this one guy who had accepted a demon's deal and summoned a demon, and accepted a demon's deal on the line, and had been stealing their family's strength and healing and all this or that, which was very scary because, you know, children, it probably wouldn't be a child, because traditionally speaking, a child until they come the age of a certain age. It might be the age of 12 or the age of older than 12, maybe, but it might be the age of 12 is when it's not the age for like sex and fertility and shit, but it's the age where they're considered in their own mind enough to make these deals or to talk to them. So this or that, but yeah, someone made this deal and they were looking for this person, and yeah, they kind of end up getting some back and giving more and make more, but it all disappears, and it's quite a horrible story because people start dying, and this person made one selfish deal because they wanted this, or they might have wanted money, or this or that, and then the same thing eventually keeps happening with other things that like approaching people like, do you want to be beautiful? Do you want to have a better this, a better that? And they're like, no, I'm perfectly fine as I am. I wouldn't want to be anyone else. And then eventually these things start getting stolen from them. Like, these people start to look uglier and older, and they're like looking for the person in the line who looks like they're younger all of a sudden, and stuff like that. But yeah, and it keeps happening in all these different ways, which is interesting. And they end up finding out that like someone back in their line, something about this or that with this or that person, and they beat this being, and they wanted this from this being, and all this or that. It's all kind of interesting. But then it turns out someone from their line was also there with people from their line who had been associated with beings that had done this or that and made this or that, and these beings, some of these ones were actually born different. And one of these ones showed up because they had a light blue cloak thing that they made when they were younger as well. They also had one of those, so they put that on and showed up. But like, that was for resistance when they were doing the time walking and this or that thing. So they had the cloak and they showed up against this one and that bad one and this one too, because they had like a light blue cloak as well, which was all kind of interesting. This healing being, also, when they had healing in the story, they had like all these different kinds of healing. Like, they had earth healing to strengthen the body, wind healing to like cut open to remove something from the body, water to draw out sickness or do this or that or flush the body, and like, I don't know what the thunder and the energy was for, but there was soul healing as well, like emotional healing. There was sound healing to heal the ears and the mind and put it at ease. And that also, funny enough, one of the unknown things about this was that they could do something called the hard shriek from this, which was actually, if someone was ever to be ensnared by like something that used their voice to control something, this healer could use the hard shriek gift ability to, they just learned one day and randomly, they didn't even know why they were screaming, and they made like the most horrid screech. That actually snaps people out of trances. So like, if you believe from like certain things entrancing people with their mind, a hard shriek can snap them out of it. There are other ways I'm not sure about, because I personally probably couldn't do it, to do with like, you know, someone can be walking very set on a task and they get distracted by a sale. If anyone is entranced by something, you gotta be like, oh my god, a sale of shoes, or something that would distract them from what they're usually doing, something that would usually distract them, could actually help pull them out of that as well, funny enough. I mean, I don't think, as long as you're not going up against an evil being in this, because for all you know, they could be nice. This video is going on way too long. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Oh my god. See this? I won this guy. I went to the claw machine at an arcade, and I couldn't figure out how to use it. No, wait, this was the second one. That was the second time it happened. I won this, and I won a pop vinyl from those claw machines, and I couldn't figure out how to use it. I was trying to figure out how to use it, and I accidentally pulled it, and then I got like a Aquaman pop vinyl like thing, and I got this one, and I saw this little girl, and her dad was trying to win her something, and I felt so bad. I was like, oh my god, I want to give this to this guy to give to his daughter. I was like, what if his daughter goes to the toilet and he says he won it while she was in there? But I was like, that's really overstepping a boundary. It's so weird. I was so ready to give this to this guy so he could give it to his daughter, but I that's too awkward, that's too socially unacceptable. People say too many weird things and be like, why are you giving this to a little girl, you weirdo, or something, you know what I mean? So I didn't, but now I'm like, what happens? What would the difference be if I did or didn't give it to that girl? But, it's just a weird coincidence, but I like to think in the coincidence that I got it somehow. Maybe I should have done that. Yeah. This is why I've got to stop listening to the people who stop me. I probably should have just walked up and not listened to this weird societal expectations, standards, and this or that, and these people, and also some of the psychologists are quite hard, evil people. Like, I've complained about this before, but I've been locked up for 6 months, at least 4 times in a row over the course of a couple of years, because I talked up about, like, one of them said they were a gay man that locked me up, and I talked about these rapist people. There was videos and evidence of it, but that disappeared off my phone while I was in there. That happened twice, actually. One of them was like, someone claimed they knew someone this or that. Apparently they thought that I wanted to date my uncle, that I was like, someone assumed that I was like at SLUT there to date my uncle when I was just going to meet my uncle, which was kind of interesting. And yeah. They were like the SLUT that showed up to this house. I was like, I was here to meet my uncle. It's kind of interesting. Sorry. And yeah, I don't know. It's a weird moral of the story, but I talked up about, said, when someone was SAing me, they held a knife up, and they're like, I'll cut your face off. And when I was like a teenager or a younger teenager, and apparently, sorry, I'm going to talk quiet. Apparently, to psychologists from a professional standpoint and point of view, someone holding a knife to your throat and threatening to cut your face off unless you STD because you're like a 15-year-old or 16-year-old teenager, apparently that makes you psychotic with grandiose delusions, because nothing like that happens to people. They actually even went as far, some of these psychologists went as far to put on the file the way I talk and act and the way that I present myself and move and put my hands back over my head and relax sometimes mean that I apparently wanted to or provoked rape, or I wanted to be raped. They basically said bitch wants it. I'm a guy, I guess it happened to guys. Basically said bitch wants it from a psychologist point of view. I'm like, how can that fucking lady be a psychologist? And honestly, I'm pretty sure she's a face-stealing sociopath who does wicked alchemy potions to stay young. But yeah, that was just a crazy delusion during my head. A lot of them turn out to be true. Have you ever seen that Simpsons episode where there's like a weird street-looking thing on the side of their face and they pull it and their face kind of falls off and it's like, oh my god, they saw my face? Yeah. But I honestly wouldn't tell anyone that if it happens, because you'll just get locked up for like 2 years over the next 4 years. But yeah. Okay. Peace. Bye.